Thanks for sharing the knowledge. When you work contracts with the government, do you have to be registered to bid on jobs? I would love to work small contracts solo or with a very small groups. All I can tell you, Navi, is what I know, and it's not a lot. So at one point I thought about doing it myself. Just so you know, I've never done it before. I've never done contracts for the government. I've worked for employers who did, and very small employers who did, who I don't know how much I could. Years ago, I worked for a one of the most brilliant women I've ever met in my life. By the way, she black woman. I'm not even messing with you. She's the most brilliant, one of the most brilliant human beings I've met in my entire life, and she hired me. She saw one of my websites and hired me, and I had the pleasure of being in the presence of this magnificent brain. She was brilliant. I love meeting people like that. It's so inspiring, and I love learning stuff from them, like the way they behave, the way their life is. Right? She's on a whole different level, right? And she's like telling me how her kids speak French and speak 3 other languages. I'm like, damn, like what? I'm not worthy. But yeah, she was brilliant. But she started her own company, and she had a contract that serviced, I don't know, probably 20 different federal departments. I'm not sure, but she had me like teaching here and there. And around that time frame, I had a non-disclosure agreement, so I couldn't compete with her, obviously, which I wouldn't have done anyway. Now, and this was years ago, so I could totally do it now. But so she had me teaching I was teaching like DIACAP, risk management. And if you ever happen to watch this, yeah, shout out to her, man. She was brilliant. she was amazing. She was an amazing human being. But I started doing research on my own, like how is she doing this? And what I found was, let me see if I can find the site. It was a site with a bunch of contracts on it. And you probably already know what site I'm going to. And it was first.gov, something like that. It had a bunch of contracts. It breaks them all down. And let me see if I can find it. Breaks them down. It talks about their requirements, and you're supposed to like write a request for proposal document. I don't know. You could probably look at YouTube and see how to write it and stuff. That's about as far as I got. I did research on how you do it and stuff. And then I've helped write requests for proposals before for big companies. So I only write my part, but I don't know how all that stuff goes. But I'm looking for the site. I think if you find this, when you see this site, it explains a lot, and you start to know like how these organizations are able to find these jobs. Let me just see if I can. Man, what is it called? If you guys know what I'm talking about, it was like first.gov or something like that. Oh, they renamed it. Look at that. Let me see. First.gov. Maybe they're saying it's named USA.gov now. Maybe, I don't know if this is it. Yeah, this might be it. USA.gov. This might be it. So it used to be called like firstgov.gov or something like that. This has a bunch of grants and a bunch of contracts. It has all kinds of stuff. This is an awesome site, by the way. It has nonprofit. It has stuff for vets. It has stuff for minorities. It has stuff for grants and all kinds of stuff here. So this is a really good site that I'm surprised more people don't talk about. Great opportunities for U.S. citizens, and maybe even some for just residents. There's all kinds of stuff here. Definitely, if you're thinking about starting your own, doing a bid for a contract or something like that, or starting your own staffing company, which a lot of who I admire the most, man, is immigrants, because they come here and do it, man. Immigrants will come here, they'll find some shit like this, and then they'll make a business, and then they'll have a business of mid-tier business with 500 people under them. Immigrants are bad MFs. They don't come here to play games. They don't come here like we black people, man. Black African Americans, we could really learn a lot from immigrants, man. They are not here to play games. So, and that's coming from, I mean, I just looking at them and I admire their work ethic and their drive to do it. That's what we as a people, African Americans, that's what we need to do.